Hi, welcome to the Daily Ref. I hope you are having a good day. In the first part of this tutorial series, you learned about the power tools in Excel. Also, you saw what the business intelligence workflow would look like using these power tools. Now in this tutorial, you will learn the fundamental table transformation tools in Power Query Editor. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Alright. Without further ado, let's start with today's tutorial. To make sure we are on the same page, let's briefly discuss what a table is. A table consists of a grid of cells, where every cell stores a piece of data. The vertical list of cells is called a column, and every column has a column header. Whereas, the horizontal list of cells is called a row. Each row represents an instance of the object you are storing in the table. Let's understand this with an example. Let's say you want to store information regarding your customers. For this, you can create a table named customers with columns such as customer ID, account number, first name, last name, etc. In such a table, every row represents a customer. For example, here we have Sherry as our first customer, Derek as our second customer, and so on. Alright. Now that you know what a table is, let's start exploring basic table transformation tools in Power Query Editor. In the description below, I have provided all the files we are going to use in this tutorial series. Please download the files and let's get the ball rolling. Alright. I hope you have downloaded the files on your device. Let's first start with the customer's data. Open a new workbook. Go to the Data tab. Under the Get and Transform Data group, click on the From Text/CSV tool. Now select the customer's CSV file from the downloaded files, and press the OK button. This will open up a preview window. In this window, you can see various properties of the file you are importing, for example, file origin, delimiter, etc. Also, the data preview shows the first 200 rows of data to have a quick sneak peek. On the preview window, you can load data directly in Excel or the data model using the Load Data dropdown. However, I would recommend always pressing the Transform Data button because it loads data first in Power Query Editor, where you can shape your data before loading it to the data model. Press the Transform Data button to open the data in the Power Query Editor. As a best practice, always name your query first. I'm going to name it as customers_lookup. In one of the future tutorials, you will learn about the data tables and lookup tables. Then you will understand why I appended the _lookup suffix to the query name. For now, let's just go with the flow. Let's now discuss some of the basic table transformation tools in Power Query Editor. First, you have tools to manage columns of your tables. Under the Choose Columns dropdown, you have two tools, Choose Columns and Go to Column. Whenever you want to remove columns from your table, the Choose Columns tool is a recommended tool to use. Under the Remove Columns dropdown, as the name suggests, you have two more tools to remove columns. These are Remove Columns and Remove Other Columns. The Remove Columns tool deletes the selected columns of your current query, whereas the Remove Other Columns tool does exactly the opposite of the Remove Columns tool. It deletes the columns that are not selected in the current query. As I mentioned before, the Choose Columns tool is the recommended way to only keep the columns you want. Other than these tools, you have tools to sort your data. You can use the Split Column tool to split a column based on various options. Using the Data Type tools, you can set the data type of the currently selected column. When you want the first row of your table as the header row, also known as column labels, the Use First Row as Headers tool come in handy. You can use the Replace Values tool to swap values in your tables. Under the Combine group, you have very powerful features: Queries and Append Queries. You will learn these tools in one of the dedicated tutorials. Now that you are familiar with the basic table transformation tools, let's apply some of these tools to our customer's query or table. First, let's check the column headers and their data types. Note that the customer account number and the customer postal code columns are formatted as whole numbers by default. You may not need to perform any mathematical operations with these columns. Therefore, let's convert them into text data type columns. Click on the left corner of the customer account number column. Select the text data type from the menu. As Power Query Editor already gets the data type for each column, it's asking to either replace the current step or add a new one. Let's press the Replace Current button to replace the current change type step. Next, do the same for the customer postal code column. This time I will use the Data Type tool to change the data type. Select the customer postal code column. Then go to the Home tab. Under the Transform group, click on the Data Type tool. Select the text data type. Alright. Now that we have played around with column header and data types, let's see a little bit about column management. Let's say you don't want all of the columns in this query. To get rid of unwanted columns, you can click on the Choose Columns tool, under the Manage Columns group on the Home tab. Here, I'm removing the homeowner, occupation, and member card columns. Don't worry, you can always bring them back whenever you want in the future. Based on the data we have in the query, we have applied the required transformations. You can play around with other tools like sorting, manage rows, replace values, etc. OK. Our data is in the desired form. Let's now load the data in the data model. Go to the Home tab. Click on the Close and Load drop-down. Select the Close and Load to tool. In the Import Data dialog box, select the Only Create Connection Radio button. Make sure you check the Add this data to the data model checkbox. Press the OK button to load the data to the data model. Congratulations on loading your first query in the data model using Power Tools. In the next tutorial, you will learn the text transformation tools available in the Power Query Editor. I hope you found some value in this tutorial. If you think I missed something, please ask in the comments below. For the latest updates, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. I will see you in the next video.